forgetting one thing. Oh well, it's too late. Fuck it. So this is the newest one. Pretty proud of how this one turned out. It's 3 strings. Did a little like clever thing for the headstock this time where I just kind of like cut this leg to a table, which is what the neck is for the most part. Just kind of at an angle like that. I sawed it, and then I just took the little bit here and I flipped it over so it went at this angle, and then I screwed it in and glued it there, sanded it all down and painted over it. The where the frets will be when I'm done, the fretboard, and it's made from a property divider, like the wooden stake they stick in the ground with a pink ribbon on it. That's what that is. This is a cigar box that I got from a friend of mine that works at a smoke shop. The guitars, strings, our guitar strings, tuning pegs, you know. I think it turned out pretty good. And of course the slide is just a random piece of furniture. Someone say pegs? Yeah, your mother. When she's fucking me in the ass. I'm sorry, that was inappropriate. Yeah, man. Your mom was fucking freaky, man. How you think she made you, man? Got your daddy pregnant. I'm a submissive male, but you wouldn't peg me for that. I'm so wascally. So that's the one that's like the main project right now. Is the thing that I'm putting the most love into. I think I'm gonna paint it a little bit more. This is the paint is actually nail polish. I'm gonna put a little bit more on it today, I think. And I wanted to take a little moment to talk about this right here today. So in June, my house, the place I was living, anyways, was it caught fire. My best friend died. It was an absolute tragedy. And while I was out there, I had literally nothing. And I decided to make a guitar out of whatever I could find. And this is what I came up with. It's one string that I got off of a Traveler. That's a banjo string. I'm not sure which one. Some random hardware, putting these property divider thingies together. This is a little thing that's supposed to resemble a book. It's like a hiding case though. And it's War and Peace. Just random hardware, holding it all together. There's a spring from a doorstop. Thank you. And it doesn't sound too bad for just one string, right? I was pretty pumped when I figured out the SpongeBob thing with it. I was just out there on the street. So yeah, this is one that I will never improve on the design of this just because it's so sentimental to me. Oh, the strap is a tie that I found. It is what it is, and it did what it was supposed to do at the time that it did. I'm happy to still have it. It'll always be exactly this way with the self-tapping screws kind of jutting out of the back of it. And yeah, I love this thing. And it actually don't sound too bad, right? So yeah, there's that one. Oh, come on, man. Ain't I stinking? One string, property divider lines, random hardware. A case that's meant to look like a book, but is actually just a little hidden compartment. Says War and Peace on it. And the strap is a tie. And then the other one I have that I need to do a little bit of work on. So I made a bunch of these. These were, I went to Goodwill right before Christmas and bought up all their cookie tins so I could sell a bunch of these. And this is the only one that did not sell. I thought it was adorable because it's kind of like a little stocking stuffer thing. And it works, but I gotta put a new string on it. So I guess I'll start there because that's the easy one. That'll be the first thing I do. And I'm trying to decide if what I want to do is keep it as a Christmas thing because I spray painted it to look like a candy cane right there and all that, or because the holidays are over and I'd like to sell it, maybe I should turn it into something else because I, for one, hate Christmas out of context of the holiday season. So this is equivalent to hearing "Baby It's Cold Outside" when you're about to get sexually assaulted in June. So we'll start with that. So I keep accidentally breaking the string on these, but we'll fix that. And these are strings are salvaged, some of them from things that were given to me. And this is what I'm going to be taking a lot of parts from today. I literally found this in a dumpster outside of a church 2 days after Christmas. The headstock was busted off and the little rod that goes down the neck was gone. But I'm going to use these frets for sure. And so yeah, I've been doing this since about 2 years ago. It took me like a year to make my first one that worked really well. And it was a closet door that I had found was hollow. And I had grafted to the back of it with JB Weld a dog bowl, like a silver or a stainless steel dog bowl, so that it had more echoey things. It had springs stretched out on the inside so that it would resonate more. It was also electric. I took the little piezo disc, the little thing, the brass thing that makes the alarm noise when a smoke detector goes off, took that out, wired it up to a jack, and that made it have a pickup, so it was electric. My favorite part was the frets were bicycle spokes that I had sanded down, and it took forever to measure the whole thing. The fretboard was a ruler from Ace Hardware that originally said the helpful place on it. 2x4 for most of the neck. The what they call the nut was actually made out of a dog bone because I'd heard that those were really good for that, and it did great. I sanded it down and made it just the right shape, sawed a couple lines in it, worked perfectly, and had a little face on it. If you like, you could look at the channel. There's a lot of videos of that from like early on. That was the first one I made that was like worth showing to anyone. I no longer have it, unfortunately. It did break, and that was my fault. I shortly thereafter went to rehab. So and this is just a little piece of hardware that I got at Ace Hardware. Actually, this is one of the few things I've bought for this. I try to make it all stuff that I can salvage from somewhere or at least buy secondhand. But I'm trying to experiment because so these, what's called machine heads, the tuners, they're incredibly good at doing what they do, and it's hard to replace them. But what I'd like to be able to pull off with these is have the whole thing made entirely out of stuff that isn't musical instrument parts or guitar parts. And the two parts that I've had the most trouble coming up with a replacement for are, of course, the machine heads, the tuning pegs, and the strings themselves. So I once made one out of the brake cables from a bicycle, and it kind of worked, but it just didn't sound great to me. It was a fun little experiment, but I was not pleased with the result. I know that blues musicians, which is where these ideas come from, would salvage haywire and turn it into guitar parts. And they would just get like Coke bottles in the doors to their house and just play that with a slide. So I'm sure I'll think of something. I hear that fishing line works okay, but those are like nylon string. They're not going to work too good with a slide. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. Um, for now, this is fine. I had a friend that got locked up in jail for a little while, like 2 or 3 years back, and they were in Comal County in Texas, and they said that they were trying to figure out a way to make a guitar in there. And this was before I had even made my first one. And they said that what they were doing is they were taking like long bits of plastic from garbage bags and just winding them and winding them and winding them. And they said that like right before they were able to make bail, they kind of got it to ring out, and it was sort of working, and they were on their way. But you know, never underestimate the ingenuity of somebody who's incarcerated. Some of the smartest people on earth are locked up, just for the record. And, you know, sorry, the inside of my thigh, it's just, I'm not being weird. I was thinking about how that would be maybe my bread and butter should I ever get locked up long term. I could turn a bunch of, coffee into violin or something. So this is the part that I used for a tuner on this instrument. And I think I'm going to stick with it because it also has this little bit at the bottom that kind of makes it so you can play it flat. You can like lay it on a surface and just play it that way. So that's kind of fun. But the problem is I keep pinching it on the end here and cutting the string. So I'm going to try and think of a solution to that problem. With this is my random bucket of hardware. There should be some washers in here that might do the trick. We'll see. Yes, we have washers. How about that? Washers, nuts. I think this might work. I think this little guy might do exactly the thing I need it to do. Let me know if this is a bad angle and I should change it so that it can be easier to make out what I'm doing. Or if you're not interested so much in what I'm doing and just that I'm doing it, then I suppose you're someone with a lot of time on their hands, but I appreciate that you're spending it with me. The question is, who's more of a loser, me doing this or you watching me? It's me. It's definitely me. Okay. I think that's actually going to do it. That's fucking cool. So another thing I get a lot of satisfaction out of when I do these is that it's just like coming up with solutions for little things. These little tricks that I've learned just by fucking with it. It took me well over a year to get the first one that I made to work. And then like a few weeks ago I came on here on stream and I made one in an hour. So I'm just getting better and better at it. And I'm always trying new things. So see this? You see this thing comes off the back and it makes it so you can just like lay it flat and play it with a slide that way. So that's kind of fun. I meant for it to be like a little stocking stuffer, but nobody seemed that interested in. Oh well. Looks like I'm rolling Christmas again. Okay, so let's decide what string we're going to use for this. I'm going to take it off of this instrument over here. I got this at Goodwill today. It's out of tune, but I'm not going to tune it right now because I'm in the middle of something. So, and got it at Goodwill, and I really like it. It's made entirely out of plastic. It's like a first act guitar like they sell at Walmart. It's meant for a kid to play, but I like the sound of it. It's kind of cool, even though it's just plastic. But the main reason I bought it is because it's $5, right? And the main thing I'm looking for are these, again, machine heads, guitar tuners. A set of these will run you like $60 brand new. But if you just buy a shitty old guitar for $5, you can take these. So I always need more of those. I suppose I can just cut that and use it that way. There we go. And then there we go. Gonna use the B string from a children's learning guitar that I got at Goodwill today on my homemade instruments, the stocking stuffer. So I got this little self-tapping screw here. I'm going to just kind of wind this around the shaft of it and then screw it in. See, I made this little loop here. Here's my self-tapping screw, and I just get one of these motherfuckers. Alright, so now it's on there. See that? And we'll tighten it more and more as we tune it. Gotta find the right tools. And here's another thing. All the tools that I'm working with are also from a dumpster, so I'm working with tremendous blind spots while I do this. And we're in. See that right there? Screwed in, holding the string in place down there. Then we're going to put it through this little eye bolt up the top to tighten it. And that will be our tuner. And if anybody is interested in buying one of these, I sell them reasonably, because what's more important to me is that somebody gets an instrument from the upcycled materials if they need or want one. But I don't know that I can really ship unless it's worth doing. But especially if you live in Tucson or will be in Tucson, I will sell it to you very cheap, if not free, just because you need it. But I'm happy to ship it to someone if they make it worth the headache of going to the post office. Okay, so now we gotta do this. So tuning with this one is not as easy because you kind of gotta loosen the back bolt here. And then tighten. Okay, so we need a bridge and a nut now. And that can be a bunch of different stuff. But we're just gonna go through our bucket of hardware again. That'd probably work fine for over here. All right, so there's that at this end. Work. A lot of it's just improvising. And we're going to put something here so it doesn't slide away on me. Sorry that this doesn't have the fast pace of a typical YouTube streamer. I'm not very good at this yet. Alright, so screwdriver. You need a different screw for that part. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna use some more of them self-tappers for this bitch. No, these are actually working better. Jesus God. Oh my God, there's shit on my father's balls. And there you have it. So that's the nut down there. Put a little screw above it so it doesn't slide away from the tension. Held in with the self-tapping string. Goes all the way up to this tuner that I fashioned out of an eye bolt. And the bridge is another just random piece of hardware. The neck is a piece of extruded aluminum that I spray painted to resemble a candy cane. And it's a cookie tin from Goodwill. And for a one string, it kind of sounds cool. And again, it has this little thing at the back, so you can actually just kind of lay it out flat and play it that way. Here, we'll adjust this so you can kind of see what I'm doing. there's that. What do you guys think? Should I paint it a different color to try and sell it now that the holidays are over? Should I keep it to commemorate the fact that I spent my first evening in jail on Christmas Eve, a nice little Yuletide cavity search? Just to carry that Christmas spirit throughout the rest of the year, I have a piece of garbage that's decorated like Christmas. So yeah, that's just like a little stocking stuffer idea I had. This is the only Christmas one I made that did not get bought up. I thought this was the coolest one though, so I don't know. Well, what do I know? I'm only the guy that fucking made it. I fucking pulled all the garbage out. I put this shit together. I fucking slave away in a dumpster fucking cocksuckers, and you don't give a fuck about my Christmas gift. It's fucking Christmas, goddammit. So there's that one. Let me know if anybody has an opinion or if he's even listening right now. If I should spray paint it or something, make it not look so Christmassy. But this is my favorite one right now, the one I've been working on the most. Cigar box. Oh, hi there. Yeah, the bell, I could put another bell on it. I still have some bells. The other one just kind of snapped off at some point while I was messing with it. But I've got some other ones I could put on there. I also had like a little snowman I was going to put on it. One of the Christmas ones I made, I had like these little LED string lights. They were battery operated, and I put it inside the body so I could like flip a little switch and it would like jingle, like, or not jingle, but it would like sparkle like Christmas, you know. I was going to put a little bit of mistletoe right there so it was hanging over my crotch, a little Yuletide dick joke. So yeah, this is the one that I'm the happiest with how it's turning out that I'm working on right now. I keep selling them, which is great, but then I end up with nothing to show on the stream, so I have to kind of scatter out when I do it. So this one's made. The body is a cigar box that I got from a friend that works at a smoke shop. The neck is the leg to a table that I found next to a dumpster. The headstock, this is the first time I pulled this off in a way that I like. I just kind of like cut this leg kind of like that, and then I took the little piece and just flipped it over, screwed it in, and glued it there so that it would lean back like a headstock on a guitar normally does. Thank you very much. Yeah. So like lean back like that. The fretboard, for lack of a better term, is like a property divider. Like they stick it in the ground with a little pink ribbon so you know where the property ends, and if there's like underground utilities. Little piece of glass from a tile there. Little hinge from a jewelry box. There's springs from random stuff that I found. What else? Spray painted it. Yeah. The paint is actually mostly nail polish. I'm gonna put some more on today. I think it's part of what I'm doing. And I'm thinking about putting frets on this one because I haven't done frets on one in a while. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that one turned out. That was a little experiment. It was originally on one that I had made out of a first aid kit, and it had brake lines from bicycles for strings. But I wasn't happy with how it sounded or even looked. I thought the idea was cool, and it was also cool because it was a first aid kit. It still opened up and had like first aid stuff in it, so I thought that was neat. But I just wasn't happy with how it turned out. So I used the neck on this one, and I like this one a lot more. got here? A short of yours with the first aid box. It's cool that they all sound different. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a neat little experiment, but it ended up not being something that I was going to hold on to. I'd rather have the parts for it. But, sometimes what I do is I just make something, get a little video of it, and then move on from it. Yeah, it sounds good with 3 strings too. I like it. 3 strings are making it, along with the headstock. The whole thing's just kind of. I'm starting to make them look a little bit more professional, but I don't want to totally abandon the fact that they are what they are, which is salvaged materials. Like I think that's part of the appeal of them. So I'm trying to figure out what the balance is going to be on making them look professional enough that people recognize them as what they are, which is a playable, functional instrument, but also upcycled materials diverted from a landfill, turned into something new and interesting that someone can use, and is also a piece of art. So I'm probably going to continue painting this one now with nail polish. So if you're here and you want to watch me do that, that's fine. But maybe we can get a little dialogue going. I know there's some of the people are in here talking. Oh, if you're in here and you're one of the people who donated very generously super recently, I wanted to say I really appreciate it. I'm not going to call you out by name because I feel like I remember reading that you specifically did not want me to do that. So I won't. But if you'd like to reach out to me on Instagram or anything, just please do that. And if you want, I'll send you one of these, and you can just have it. It means a lot to me that you would do that for me, and it has helped quite a bit. It's made the last couple of weeks very bearable, and it's been a rough year for the kid. So I just want to say I'm very grateful. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna paint this one with nail polish a little bit. I'm trying to decide what color we're gonna go with. What do we think about pink, folks? We like pink. I like pink. I wanted to have like brighter colors so it pops, especially on screen a little bit more. Plus I can get kind of high from the inhalants while I'm doing this. And with the abstinence from my drug of choice, I'll take what I can get, you know? I was in Flagstaff. This last weekend. Yes, pink is one of my favorite colors, if not my favorite color. I like dark purples. But I was in Flagstaff this last weekend doing a show with a very old friend of mine named Sam Miller, who just released his special on Stand Up Records. And I remember I was the first person to ever book him to headline a spot. And some of my peers were like, shouldn't, he's too new. But the guy was always very, very, very funny. He runs shows in Olympia, Washington, and I was in Seattle at the time. And the show was called Comedy Giant, but he was running a show called Vomedy. And he's a very funny guy. He's recovering meth addict, former homeless guy. Hadn't seen him in a very long time. It was honestly so much fun. There was 2 shows. We did an early show and a late show. Packed place. Flagstaff is awesome, or at least there's awesome people in it. And they don't really get much in the way of stand-up out there. So like when people come, they're very excited about it. Almost didn't make it because it was snowing. Made it almost all the way there, and then the freeway got cut off, and they told us it was going to be like 4 or 5 hours before it opened back up. So we had to drive all the way back to Prescott, turning a
what is typically a 4 or 5 hour drive into fucking 7 hours on the road just to get there. But it was worth it. Very cold in Flagstaff.
Uh,
And I don't know. It's probably a better town overall than Tucson, but
Tucson has more comedy.
and I know more people here, so this is where I'm at for now. Um, Not that that's the only deciding factor on where I live, because if comedy was what determined where I lived, I certainly wouldn't be in Tucson. But there is enough of it here to make it worth my while to be here for now. Make it not torture. I also have a show this evening
At a smoke shop, there's a place
that's doing a 10 p.m. show at a smoke shop, and I'm wondering how well that's going to work out, because I don't know how many of you guys have been to Tucson, but the smoke shop, once the sun goes down in Tucson, gets pretty colorful with characters, and they're not exactly
ready to take a seat and be good listeners. You know, they're kind of hustling and bustling. They got lots of stuff to do. They're lerping and a slurping.
you know they gotta they gotta go steal things and sell things and fall asleep at the bus stop. Their girlfriend's got 4 backpacks and no shoes, and she's fucking yelling it at the wall somewhere while she's falling asleep, crying outside of a Walmart. So that'll be an interesting audience, but
Arguably exactly my demographic. So
we'll see.
smoke shop comedy sounds wild.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit of a mess, but whatever. I've done crazier spots, I'm sure of it. I've been physically attacked on stage more than once. Um, at least in Tucson, the typical run of the mill street criminal doesn't have the strength to attack you because they're too strung out on fentanyl. So we've got that working in our favor.
But no, it's going to be a great show. I'm doing such a good job promoting this. Come on down, huh? Leave your tutors and aluminum foil, but bring your laughing hats. Pink looks pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that looks really cool.
Give it a couple layers so it's nice, even coat here.
I wonder if it's the Vietnamese in me that made me decide to start painting these with fingernail polish. Hey, I can say it because I'm Vietnamese, right?
It might be rude, but I'm Vietnamese, and in our culture, if you don't sound rude, you're not pronouncing the word correctly. Mao. Some pink nail polish. Because even my guitar is a fag. Yep, yep, yep. Cool. So we'll just let that one dry for a little bit. Let's first do this. Boom. Okay. I suppose it's like any other art form, you know, eventually I'm just going to have to decide that it's done, even though you can always improve and just be finished with it and move on to the next thing. But the pink looks pretty cool, right? Yeah, the pink looks tight. That was the right move. I think pink was the way to go. So we'll let that dry and then keep painting it a little bit more. And since we're in the neighborhood, you know, I may as well, you know, you mind if I have a couple fries, bud? Why your nails so dirty? I start like yelling at myself. Why, when you find a husband? You're so pretty, but your nails so dirty. Yeah, I wonder where I was when that was happening. Oh, right. That was at Picture Rocks at the Wagon Wheel Post, which is a very interesting place to do stand up. It's way outside the city, and it's like the only bar around for um, for miles. And so like all the people who live there just kind of use it as their living room. And and we had a show there. It was a lot of fun. I had to smoke weed before I went on stage and did my second set. I never smoke weed, so that was uncomfortable. Um, and then I went. So there's a speedway, and then about 2 blocks away, there's a speedway. You can literally see the speedway from the speedway. And then there's a Nico's Taco Restaurant, a Dollar General, the general store, which is attached to the bar that we were at. And I went and got something at all of those establishments. And so now all I need is a belt buckle and a toe dolly, and I can run for mayor of Picture Rocks. So look forward to that. And I will have the video of my set from Flagstaff soon, so I'll be posting that. And congratulations to my friend Sam Miller, who is making a great deal of money that he so deserves, traveling around doing stand up and being delightful and silly and sober. And he's one of those people that, like, when you meet him and he tells you you're sober, you're like, oh man, I can see you wasted. You were a terror. Okay,
So from not being well, he got sober from meth he's like completely sober, and then started doing stand up afterwards, which is probably the way to go. But what can I say? I always do things backwards. All right, so what can we do to improve on some of these other ones? Sam Miller. Sam Miller is very funny. His new special just came out. It's called Round Trip. I think it's free on YouTube. He's awesome. I've known him for like 10 years, and it was really good to see him this last weekend. I gotta wait for this to dry, don't I? Oh, God, I'm just making a laugh. God damn it. God damn it. Absolutely, you should. He's very good. He's always been very good. I remember my peers kind of like jumped in my shit when I booked him to headline a show that I was doing long time ago. And I was like, I don't know, I believe it. I think he's funnier than like everybody. I always thought Sam was the shit. He's very funny. I'm just waiting for my nails to dry, and then we'll move on to something else. Not sure how long I'm going to be doing this for, but I'm trying to get consistent with it. Don't have very many subscribers yet, but I've had a reasonable amount of views, especially with the shorts. Like 2,000 views on a short on average is pretty good, but I haven't been posting every single day like I should, or streaming every day like I should. I should be doing longer streams. I'd like to get this page monetized, but in the meantime, throwing up the Cashapp for the donations has been a great help, and there's been really generous people. Again, thank you. And please let me know if you want me to shout you out or whatever, or if you want me to send you a guitar. I'll do my best to make that happen. So let me know what I can do to show how grateful I am, because I really am. Let's see, what else do we really work on here? I got another one of these little books. That looks like a book, and it's just like a little hidden compartment. I like making guitars out of these. You're not eavesdropping, you're just standing within earshot. Okay, good. So maybe we could discuss this while we're on the subject. So I had a rough year. We'll start there. 2025 was a rough year for me. The place I was living burned down. My best friend was in the fire and died. I went onto the street after that for a little while, and then I went to rehab for a 30-day program. And then near the end of the year, I applied to do this show at a prison in the area that some of the comics do. And my background check came back dirty, and it was a 3 years old charge from Texas that I had a warrant for, so I couldn't do the show. And then 2 days later, I interacted with a cop by accident, and I was taken to jail, and I spent Christmas Eve in jail. So all of that, on top of that, so after the fire, ended up on the street, went to rehab for 30 days, and then I landed at another comedian who lives in Tucson, his place, and for a while I was sleeping on his couch, but eventually we sort of noticed that I was getting a little traction with the YouTubes, and I started to turn his shed into a place that I could live stream in without being in his way or interrupting, and then slowly I kind of just moved into it. So we'll take a look around at that while we're doing this. We'll flip you around, and you can see the shed. So here's the shed. And it's taken a lot of work. It was filled with
spiders and stuff at first. And most, if not all of this stuff is from the trash somewhere. So this is just to keep it warm. It's really cold right now because the door is kind of janky. I painted the walls white. There's that first aid kit. Now it's just a first aid kit. That's where I sleep. Got this amp from a scrapyard that I go to pretty regularly for 20 bucks. It's worth at least 300. I need to sell it soon. Actually, it's like an emergency because I need to get to San Antonio to deal with that thing. I got to go see a judge. So this is something that my best friend Nicolette DiMaggio painted. She had this weird fixation where she would paint certain celebrities. She always did Bill Murray, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Rodney Dangerfield. She was a very strange, very interesting person. So this is like the desk that I use. Here's all the lighting for streaming, doing videos, a couple tripods. Literally pulled them out of the dumpster like 2 blocks away, these tripods. Bunch of cigar boxes and stuff that I'm going to turn into guitars. So this is the main issue. This is so depressing. So when it rains here, which it has been a lot lately, you can see the roof is kind of caving in. And I've kind of got it wedged up there. But when it rains, this place becomes completely flooded. And I have to get everything up off the floor and get out. Can't stream, obviously. It leaks here and here and here, like everywhere. It just like leaks everywhere. This thing's gonna fall in. Hopefully I'm not inside of it when it happens. Yes, this is where I'm staying now. Is this shed. Which, you know, obviously it's a little depressing, but I mean, I'm grateful. I'm not on the street. I'm not in jail. I'm not in rehab. And the guy who's letting me stay here is very cool. He's a funny guy, a stand-up comedian. I'm not gonna say his name just in case he doesn't want to have his name blown up. Ooh, isn't this cool? I found this in a dumpster too. So yeah, this is where I'm living now in Tucson. Cement floors. Gets very cold at night. No bathroom, no kitchen, none of that. And the roof is caving in. And see these pieces of aluminum and stuff? Those are actually holding up the roof in part. There's a bunch of them back there that you can't really see, but yeah. It was a lot worse when I first got here, but it's still always room for improvement. But for the time being, there's not much I can do until I make my way to San Antonio and deal with this thing with the judge so I can get that warrant taken care of. So I have like 70 days to take care of that. And for now, I'm just grateful to have any roof over my head, even if it's one with a heart-shaped hole in it. And this is where I stream. And you know, with an active warrant, you can't really get a job or sign a lease or do many things, because if they do a background check, they're going to see it and they're not going to give it to you. So that's part of the impotence for doubling down on trying to make a lot selling these guitars and live streaming on YouTube and doing stand-up, because I don't have any other option right now, basically. But yeah, there's the shed. All right, we'll get this back on here right now. So yeah, I've been learning a lot about the lighting and the sound and all that for streaming. Obviously don't have much of a following yet, but the people who have been following and donating have been generous enough that it's been worthwhile, and I've I'm very appreciative of that. So that's what's going on with me right now. Let's see if the paint has dried. Not quite. Yeah, it's it is what it is, man. Could be a lot worse. You know, Nicolette's dead, so. I got this harmonica at Goodwill today. It's got a little learning thing on it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna have to learn how to play it. But I went up to the guy behind the counter and said, "Hey, if I keep the receipt for this, can I return it later if I don't want it? If I only play it with my ass?" The answer is no. You imagine I play a harmonica with my ass? Well, hopefully San Antonio goes all right. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident about the fact they just have like these policies with some of their laws, like you have to go in person to see a judge. I don't think they're gonna lock me up. They might, they can, they're allowed to, they could. But you know, in the interim, so there was 3 years between then and now. It's been a long, long time. I had no idea that there was a warrant because they didn't even put it through till April of this year. I've been to a 30-day rehab and completed it since then, and I'm going voluntarily to deal with it, which judges like all that stuff. So I really don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Every time I think about it, it's just like so much dread, but I have to do it. So I got to get the money together to somehow get to San Antonio. Oh, I'm also not allowed to get a driver's license while this case is pending, so I'm gonna have to pay someone else to drive me. So there we go. It's just pink as fuck, dude. Kidding me? So yeah, welcome to my shed. Not my shed, the shed that I'm currently housed up in. And that's where I've been streaming from lately, because it's kind of just secluded and out of the way, and I can control the lighting is also a big part of it, because the lighting is very important from what I understand. I guess sound is more important. I forgot to turn my mic on before starting this one today. I apologize for that. And I would turn it on now, but last time I did that, it kind of started the stream over, and I'm not going to do that. But next time I'll have good sound. Someone told me it's like 80% of a YouTube video is having good sound. So we'll make sure we get that fixed next time. I got to remember it.
Yeah, have a great one. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello and all that. Really appreciate you. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, next time it'll be a lot better though. I mean, it sounds okay for a little microphone on an Android phone, but there's always room for improvement. Love you. Thank you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off for a little while. I might come on a little later, but been on here for about an hour. We're gonna call that a stream for now. Let some of this paint dry. Go take a shower. I got a show tonight. Thank you if you were watching or if you watch later. Please feel free to donate if you can. Otherwise, thank you for watching anyways, or hanging out with me while I do this ridiculous shit.